My name is Robin from Mr. Mortgage. I'm one of the mortgage specialists here, and happy Wednesday. And you know what Wednesday means now? It's the Instagram live session from Mr. Mortgage right here. Today I'll explain something about mortgages, obviously, and we'll be more specific about the energy labels. Because an energy label can significantly have an impact on your mortgage. So we'll discuss a couple of things about that. Now, as always, Instagram Live, that means that you can post live questions as well. So feel free to share any questions you might have, and I'll explain them during this session. If you have very personal questions, more specific to your income or something like that, feel free to schedule a call with us. The introduction call is always free of any obligation or any cost, and we're happy to explain what your options are and what next steps are, etc. Basically, so you're fully updated on your options and we can really dive into the next steps. Now, without further ado, I mentioned before I'll talk about energy label today. So let's start with the beginning, right? Makes sense. Energy label. What is it and why do you have it? Energy label is, well, to determine how energy efficient your property is. Makes sense. It's split in different letters. So you have energy label G is the lowest, and then the energy label A is higher. Now, within energy label A, you have also A plus or the A plus plus, and it goes up to 4 or 5 pluses behind the A. That means that it's very, very energy efficient, even in such a way that it's all self-sustainable. Now, how does this impact your property at first? Now, energy label G means that your house isn't that energy efficient, and A is very energy efficient. So this also has an impact on the value of the property, for instance. So the property value is a bit higher when the energy label is better as well. Makes sense because you get a better quality when it comes to the energy label. Now, there are different impacts that an energy label has. For one, for instance, your mortgage capacity. Since this year, the government has decided, you know what? If your energy label is higher, if it's better, your energy efficiency of your property is better. So therefore, they allow you to get a higher mortgage than when it's a bit lower. Now, there's different categories there. E, F, and G, energy labels E, F, and G, so the lowest three, they don't have any addition there. Kind of makes sense because that's a lower energy label. Now, from energy labels C and D, in a separate category as well, this is where you can borrow 5,000 euros extra on top of your regular mortgage capacity. This doesn't matter, it's regardless of your income or if you buy alone or together, if it's your first house or your second house, it doesn't matter at all. You can borrow 5,000 euros more in any case when you have an energy label D or C instead of the E, F, and G. Now, if you go one step higher even, so if you buy a property with energy label A or B, then your mortgage capacity is 5,000 euros over that. So compared to energy label E, F, and G, so that's the baseline, you can borrow 10,000 euros more if you buy a property with energy label A or B. And then when it comes to the A plus and plus plus plus, then it also gets step by step, it gets higher. This means that you can get a higher mortgage when you buy a property with an energy label A+++, for instance, when it's a new build, than when you buy a property with energy label E or C and D, for instance. So there's a bit of a difference there. So this is very good to keep in mind when you're house hunting and you see a property with a certain energy label, then you know that this makes a bit of a difference when it comes to your borrowing capacity. Now, as always check in with us before you want to put in an offer, or if you just like a property, you want to know what your mortgage is like, because then we can consider also this energy label in your mortgage calculations, so you know exactly what your options are. Now, that's the baseline of energy labels. Now, again, feel free to schedule a call, of course, but also to post any questions you might have. I'm happy to discuss that as well. Now, I see a question here. Does an energy label really affect my borrowing capacity? Well, yes, like I just mentioned, if your energy label is better, then you can borrow a bit more. The baseline is E, F, and G. If you buy a property with energy label C and D, that's in the same category, you can borrow 5,000 euros more, regardless of your income, etc. And if it's energy label A and B, for instance, then you can borrow even 10,000 euros more than E, F, or G. So now this is the baseline. Now there's another reason Why? It also increases your borrowing capacity. And this has more to do with the interest rates. So we discussed what the government allows you to do, so what your mortgage capacity is, but also what banks allow you to do in the sense of the interest rate. There are banks that give you a discount if your on the interest rate, if your energy label is better. So they, not only the government, but also banks want to encourage people to buy a house with a higher energy label. Usually that starts at energy label B and A, so then you could get an interest rate discount of 0.1 or 0.15% even. And there's a couple of banks that already give you a discount starting from energy label C and D. So that could be very nice that the better the energy label is of the property that you buy, the lower the interest rate is. The lower the interest rate is, that also means that your mortgage capacity goes up, right? Low interest rate means higher maximum mortgage. So that is a nice balance to be able to find. But now, so that's definitely an option that banks also give you. Now, it doesn't mean that a bank that gives you a discount automatically is the best bank, because there's so many banks out there. We work with pretty much all available banks in the Netherlands, over 30, mind you. So we can always see, okay, what is the best bank considering the potential discount, and your borrowing capacity, what you need, what you want, and then we can see what the best option for you is, of course. Now, then you also might want to know, before we move forward, I see a question here. Which home improvements can help to improve my energy label? That's actually a very good question, because I just wanted to mention that. What the options are to improve your energy label. So maybe you buy a house with energy label E. Maybe the purchase price was a bit lower than when you buy a property with energy label C, D, or A or B, for instance. So you buy with E, and then you know what? You improve the property yourself. Definitely possibilities there. There even, when you buy a property with energy label E or for G, the government gives you a bit more capacity on your mortgage capacity to do home improvements as well. That can be as high as 20,000 euros extra borrowing capacity if you use that 20,000 euros or the amount up to 20,000 euros for energy improvements, energy efficiency improvements. So that can be very interesting as well. Now, so that's definitely something that can work out. Now, what can you do to improve your property to improve the energy label? Think of insulation. So maybe the windows right here. Now these windows are very energy efficient. This is triple glazing. So if you have single glazing, well, that's basically you're almost sitting outside. But very much more common is double glazing. So you have two windows basically, and that gives more insulation to the property. And there are some properties, new built, like the property that we're in right now as well, and that has triple glazing, even better insulation. So that can definitely help. But also if you buy a house, the roof can be insulated better, for instance, that the heat doesn't go out as much, or you can have floor heating, you can have an electric heating system as well, remove any use of gas in the property when it comes to the heating system or your kitchen, that all of these kind of things improve your energy label. Now, this is definitely something, do check in with us when you have questions about it. And of course, a very common one is solar panels as well. Now, this mainly, when it comes to solar panels, this very much applies to house buying. So when you buy an actual house, when you buy an apartment, there are also possibilities there, and to improve your property. Now, these can all be very interesting, of course, to do. Now let's see what questions we have here as well. Let's see. Can a mortgage advisor help me get a better deal based on my home's energy label? Well, yes, definitely. I mean, that's what I just mentioned in the sense of the interest rates. We work with all available banks in the Netherlands, basically. So we can see what is the best interest rate with the energy label. If you're interested to know about all the different banks, there's a lot of banks, a couple of banks that you can go to yourself, so you can just go into the bank office and request a mortgage. The thing is, they can only offer their own mortgages, right? Well, there's a whole range of banks, and the thing is, what you have to keep in mind is that the majority of the banks do not work with consumers directly, but only work through financial advisors, such as the team from Mr. Mortgage right here. So we're always able to get you the best deal out there to see exactly what your options are. Now, this is the introduction to energy labels in the Netherlands. Do keep in mind that this can significantly impact your mortgage capacity and also your monthly payments. And And that's always very good, of course, to consider, because lastly, the energy label, sure, it can improve your mortgage capacity, right? It can reduce your interest rates. Very good, better conditions there as well. Lower interest rates means lower mortgage payments. But something that cannot be understated is the utility cost as well. Better energy label means better insulation, for instance. That means that your utility cost for heating and such will be lower as well. So definitely something to be mindful of when browsing around on Fundao or any housing website to see what the best deal is for you out there. Now, feel free to schedule a call if you have any questions or you want to know what the possibilities are. If you have any questions later on, let me know. And it was very good to have you here, of course, whether you checked it out live right now or you check the recording later on. For now, have a fantastic Wednesday, enjoy your lunch, and then we'll see you next time during the Instagram Live from Mr. Mortgage. Have a great week.